Emma Massingale, horse trainer and adventurer.
Hi everybody, I am so excited to share with you where my 4 little black stallions are up to with their training. It seems like only yesterday they were learning to lead and do the very basics, and now they've come so far. And that is mostly thanks to Mike and Ellie Paddock from Hitchin Farm. So for this story I need to rewind a little bit. So I've been fascinated by driving for a long time. My godmother used to drive mixed teams of stallions and mares, but it's always something that slightly frightened me, to be honest. I mean, the thought of attaching things to horses slightly freaks me out, and it's probably why I specialise more in the liberty work. So I knew I needed to enlist some expert help for this. And this summer, during the lovely sunshine and warm weather we've had, I've been heading up to Hitchin Farm and learning from them. Now they do working horses, so their entire farm is run by horsepower alone. So every job you can think of on the farm, they're using horsepower to make that happen. So from ploughing to teamwork, where they're harrowing, carrying water, logging. I mean, the list is incredible of jobs that these horses do. And I've had an amazing time going up there, spending the days with them and learning and having a little go with their very experienced horses. And I thought this kind of horsemanship, this skill that they have, is going to be absolutely fantastic for an adventure I've dreamed up for next year. Now the adventure is quite out there, and I'm not going to share all the details with that of that with you now, but it is quite out there. So what I wanted for the black boys was to learn to have a lot of variety in their life, and the first step for that is to be able to get them working 4 abreast, which is very common in working horses, and they're working teams of 4, 8, even up to 12 horses at a time. But obviously it's not necessarily that normal in terms of carriage driving and things like that, where they might be perhaps 4 in hand or just as a pair. And also the ponies are working without blinkers, which means they can see everything that's going on. And I think that they have to have a sort of greater level of acceptance with that. So they have to be really okay with what's coming up behind them. You know, they can see the wheels on the wagon, they can see what they're pulling along behind them. And I think the sort of variety of all the different skills, from harrowing and pulling the sleds and doing some logging, all that sort of stuff, was going to be really valuable for horse training and for taking my adventure forward. So Mike and Ellie have been absolutely incredible at helping me get these boys to learn their job, and what they've done with them in such a short space of time is really amazing. We've just taken them up onto Bodmin Moor for their first outing. Now that sounds a little bit crazy perhaps, because there were wild horses everywhere, and I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, is this too much? But actually what it does was it sort of sets the bar straight away for them, so that the boys understand that even though they are stallions, that's not going to be a big issue for them. They are accepting horses around them. Both myself and Mike and Ellie, we always work our horses with other horses loose in the field and stuff like that. So the boys don't get that sort of stallion behaviour thing going on. They don't think every horse they see in the field is something to do with them. So we took them down to Bodmin Moor. It was incredibly wet, cold and windy, as you'd expect in Cornwall in the winter. And we took with us, so we took my 4 Shetland Stallions, and we also took Mike and Ellie's beautiful horses as well. Now they have got on their farm a mixture of rescue cobs, so they come from all over the place, sometimes through you know, not being suitable for certain jobs, and they transform them into being working farm horses. So they took with them Roger, 15-2, possibly cob cross Frisian, something like that. He's kind of like a refined cob, but he's a lovely, beautiful big chap. And then 2 of their mares. One of the mares is called Dolly and the other is called Daisy. Now Dolly has been absolutely instrumental in training my young boys. She is a very, very experienced mare, and I wanted to, with Mike's help, I wanted to make sure that the boys could work alongside mares as well as geldings and obviously other stallions as well, to make sure they had that sort of massive experience in straight away in all their training. You know, we're not hiding them away from anything. So we took all these horses up onto the moor, and Mike showed us how to do it. You know, he has got some seriously good balance on the sled, and he was going over some amazing banks, and I can't wait for you to see the footage there. super crazy watching Mike on that sled going over those banks and through the water. Very inspiring, and he made it look very easy, because next up was my turn with the 4 black boys, and I definitely made sure Mike was standing on the back to give me a hand. We weren't quite as brave, we didn't go over the banks, but we did go through the water, which I was really pleased about. I mean, the boys are so green and they really haven't seen anything yet, so this is just the beginning and a first outing, and I hope you enjoy seeing them, but I think they're going to be pretty special. I'm really looking forward to the future with them. Up in the next video, we're going to introduce the boys to pulling the 4-wheeled wagon. So Mike and Ellie kindly came over to my house and we had to go in the sand school with them. And let's just say my other Shetlands didn't want to miss out on the action. They were coming in from every angle. Nothing like having 2 very green young stallions pulling the cart and an incoming side bomb of a Shetland pony, or 3. Thought it would be really fun to hoon around with us. But it's all good fun, and really I'm so excited to be learning something new. It feels amazing, and I think the black boys have got such an exciting future ahead of them. Obviously I'm going to teach them the liberty work and all the other stuff that I do as well, but at the moment we're just trying to get a solid foundation in their training, because they were so green and it takes a lot of work and a lot of time to become really good at something. And I know that driving isn't a 5-minute job, so we need to introduce that straight away and then consolidate that over time and giving them loads of great experiences. Now, Mike and Ellie run an amazing farm called Hitchin Farm, so do follow the link. I'll put the link to their Instagram in the description below. They run day courses, they train horses and people, and I highly recommend going to spend a day or 2 with them or signing up for one of their courses, but definitely have a look at their Facebook or Instagram and see more about what they do. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to hit like and subscribe, because it really helps to grow my channel and it enables me to be able to share more of the crazy adventures and more of what we get up to behind the scenes as well with you all.